Anyway, now to a topic that's a bit like the weather in that we like having a good old moan about it, and that is a lack of sleep. Now, for some people, being tired is more than just a gripe. It's a serious problem, especially for those whose job involves driving. Now, Anna Crossley's been finding out about a little-known disorder called obstructive sleep apnea and why there are calls for new legislation which could save lives.
Nice and relaxed, just your ordinary breathing, OK? Shall we have a go?
OK.
Let's pop that on your face there. If you just hold that there for
It's hard to believe that this could actually help someone sleep, but it does. In fact, for many sufferers of obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA, wearing a mask to help them breathe properly is the only way to get a good night's rest. And far from being a bit of an inconvenience, lack of sleep can be very dangerous, especially for those who drive or operate machinery for a living. Sheffield's Royal Hallamshire Hospital recognises this and runs a specialist unit where doctors can monitor and treat people who are suffering from conditions like OSA.
Every time the airway is occluded, the sleep is fragmented and you're brought out of restful sleep into much less restful sleep, so that over the course of a night you don't accumulate good rest, so you wake up tired.
Doctors claim that as many as 1 in 25 men and 1 in 50 women between the ages of 30 and 60 could be affected by sleep apnea. Being overweight, a smoker and a regular drinker of alcohol all increase the risk, and many people are completely unaware that they're affected. Seb Schmoller's nephew, Toby Tweddle, was killed when an HGV ploughed into the back of his car on the M62 3 years ago. It later emerged that the lorry driver, Colin Wrighton, had dropped asleep at the wheel. He'd been suffering from undiagnosed sleep apnea. Since Toby's death, the family's been lobbying the government for more stringent checks before commercial licences are granted. So this is the D4 form that doctors have to fill out when someone applies for a licence?
Absolutely. There's a small area which concentrates on whether or not the licence applicant is suffering from sleep apnea.
And it is only a small section, isn't it?
It's a small section, and the critical thing is that it asks if the applicant has got sleep apnea, and it asks for the date on which the diagnosis happened. What it doesn't do is encourage the GP to diagnose sleep apnea at that point.
And this is the crux of the matter. Campaigners believe that many sufferers slip through the net because the form doesn't focus on a person's predisposition to sleep apnea.
We started to look into the condition, and it became clear to us that it's much, much more prevalent than is generally acknowledged.
People might not associate feeling tired or falling asleep at the wheel with this condition. The good news is that if they get it treated, it doesn't stop you driving. So we really want to raise awareness of this issue and get people out there getting screened for it, getting diagnosed and getting the help they need so they're safe and other people on the road are safe.
Although sleep apnea can have devastating effects, treating it is relatively simple. The problem is many people don't know they have it.
Anna Crossley reporting there on the potential hazards with sleep apnea. Well, don't forget, if you've got any views on this week's programme or any stories you think we should be covering, contact us on our website. Now, though, it's back to John Sopel in London.